Namaste and welcome to the very first episode of Value Vision on the topic of Indian industry's future, a podcast where we explore the ideas, leadership practices, and innovation that will shape India's industrial future. One question that strikes to me: India wants to become the manufacturing capital of the world. But here's the real question: can we achieve that by simply investing in machine and technology, or do we first need to transform the way we think about work? To guide us through this important conversation, I'm delighted to welcome someone who has spent decades helping organizations build culture of excellence, continuous improvement, and sustainable growth. Dr. Leen Murali, the founder and director of Value Enablers Academy, has a unique blend of 30 plus years of experience in operational excellence, business development, sales and marketing. He is a lean master coach and master black belt in Six Sigma. Dr. Muralidharan has diverse industry and global experience working with Saint-Gobain, Jesons Corporation China, Indian market, Grindwell, Norton, and TVS Sundaram. Today, we are talking with a person who is on the mission, not a small one, to turn 1 million professionals, Indian professionals, into lean champions. The man who believes excellence is not a destination, but a habit. Welcome, Dr. Leen Murali.
Hi, Mahi. Thank you for having me here on your show.
It's an honor, sir, to have you with us. Sir, to begin this conversation, I'd love to know your personal journey. Looking back, was there a defining moment that made you believe lean was not just another management methodology, but a philosophy capable of transforming organizations?
All right. Thank you for asking me this question. I love to answer this on a little longer note. Flashback 1995. I was out of the college and I joined this company called as TVS Sundaram Fasteners. And when I went into the organization, I saw a Japanese consultant. His name was Yamaguchi-san. And I was given this position of TPM coordinator, this concept of what is called as total productive maintenance. What absorbed me was he came all the way from Japan, and whenever he came, the chairman, Mr. Suresh Krishna, also used to come. He was there only 2-3 days in a month. As a TPM coordinator, I used to go behind him. I used to carry his suitcase. He was put in the 5-star hotel Taj Residency in Bangalore, and he used to come all the way to the Hosur plant. And I was thinking this. I was asking myself, what is that this gentleman, all the way from Japan, visiting only 2 or 3 days in a month, will do to the organization? Trust me. Within 1 or 2 years, the way that cultural change was amazing. Only then I thought, if Japanese can come all the way from Japan and transform Indian companies, Indians can do. And that was the seed that was sowed, because this journey towards continuous improvement is something that is applicable in all organizations. Now, with that, I went to Yamaguchi-san and asked him, Mr. Yamaguchi-san, he used to call me Muli. Okay, my name is Murali, but he used to call me Muli. I asked him, I want to become like you, serving the Indian industries and transforming them to a world-class organization. He actually referred me to many books, and he was telling, hold my hands and do along with me, and I see myself in you in the next 20 years. As he said, Not in 20 years, in exactly 15 years, I became the consultant. And that was the moment when I thought, wow, this is something that is a passion that we have to transform a lot of small and medium enterprises.
That's a great insight, sir. I have also seen that lasting transformation begin with changing mindset, not just implementing tools. So good to know about your journey, sir. Can you recall one company where leadership completely changed the direction of lean transformation? What exactly did they do differently?
Yeah, leadership is very, very important. And one company that quickly comes at the top of my mind, it is Dodia Industries from Mumbai. I'll tell you why it completely changed. When we started this world class manufacturing journey, we started with 5S. And they have actually four factories. In one of the factories, when we started, I insisted, like you said, I learned all this from Mr. Ramakuchi. I insisted that the top management should participate in this. And the director, Mr. Pradeep Dodia, I still have this scene on the YouTube because the Dodia Industries, their lean journey, their 5 year journey, they have put in YouTube. I can share the link with you. When we did 5S in the stores, we found a lot of unwanted items and we made a lot of pre-work and preparation during that. And you have to see that scene that Mr. Pradeep Dodia, who was the director, who was the owner, at that time was about 500 crore company. He was lifting all the material, passing on, and he was walking down the stairs. And seeing him, all the other people took seriously because, as there is a saying, leaders, you don't follow the leader for what they say, but what they do. When this director started doing himself, his sons, Mr. Suchit Dodia and Mohit Dodia, also joined. And within a matter of 2-3 hours, we cleared the entire stores, washed it. And he was also involved in the mopping of the old stores where there are a lot of cobwebs, dust, and other things. And now you have to see this company grow from 500 crores to close to 1,500 crores. From 3 factories, they have 7 factories, and each and every factory has grown and imbibed this culture because that leader who put his hands on, this is a hands on approach, transformed the entire journey. And the momentum is still continuing like a well lubricated engine.
That's really a powerful, relevant story, sir. It reinforced that lean is more about thinking differently than doing things differently.
True.
Moving ahead, I just want to know what's the biggest misconception people have about lean? Possible myths like lean is only for manufacturing, lean means reducing people, lean is only for cost reduction, lean is just another quality initiatives like that.
All right. I always say this whether you bake bread in the kitchen or make machines in the shop floor, process is a process everywhere. I hope all of you will agree with this. Excellence is all about identifying activities in this process which doesn't add value from the eyes of the customer. Systematically eliminating those non value adding activities is a whole world of lean about. Imagine a process consists of all activities and you eliminate many activities from there which are non value adding. Definitely the time shrinks and you can deliver faster. That is why lean is about speed. Now, what one has to understand is like whether it is making bread or making automobiles, everything is a process. It could be manufacturing, it could be pharmaceuticals, it could be oil and gas industries, it could be a service industries, it could be the podcast that we are doing between us. There is always something which is non-value adding. If you remove those non-value adding from that process, then if you have major portion is value adding, and that is what the customer wants.
Of course, lean is just a mindset, If people understand that what is lean, they can easily differentiate NVA, VA, and essential non-value added also. So yes, of course, sir. What do you think Indian industries stand to lose if they choose not to embrace lean over the next decades?
Okay, for the time being, let us keep the word lean apart. Okay. As we know, lean is doing it faster, lean is doing it better, lean is doing it cheaper. Okay. When I mean cheaper, it is value for money. When I mean faster, is giving the results faster to the customer. When I mean better, it is world class quality. So, who will not want to do it faster? Who will not want to do it better? Who would not want to give value for money? So, in the next 10 years, I think if we don't adopt this thinking, then we will be out of this race, right? So, it is not about just the word lean, but it is about when you start thinking that you want to do it faster, cheaper, and better, then everybody would embrace it.
That's so relevant, sir, again, because customer expectations has evolved and businesses must continuously improve to stay ahead. So it's a need of the hour, I can say, that we all should understand this and implement this. So, sir, just to have a rapid fire questions with you, I just want one word answer or one line max for each line, for each question. Please. One book every leader should read.
Oh, that's a Toyota Wayfield book by Jeffrey Likert. In fact, I started with that book to implement my lean journey.
One lean tool every factory should master.
Definitely 5S, because prepare the pitch before you play. The pitch should be good for playing. So 5S is a very important tool.
Biggest waste in Indian industries.
Human talent.
One habit that changed your life.
I think reading books, continuously reading the best business practices.
Which brand you choose, Toyota or Tesla?
I think Tesla is good in innovation. Toyota is very good in continuous improvement. I think both continuous improvement and innovation, which is we call it as Kaikaku. Continuous improvement, we call it as Kaizen. Kaizen, Kaikaku, both are important. So it should be a combination of both.
So which one is your first preference, sir?
First, I would choose continuous improvement and then go for innovation based on the changing trends.
So it means you go for Toyota first and then Tesla.
That's right.
Okay. What about AI or human intelligence?
All right. Both should complement each other, but human intelligence is first required. Because without human intelligence, there is no AI. But human intelligence should stay ahead of AI.
Okay.
For AI to be relevant.
Yes, definitely. So many organizations implement lean tools like 5S, Kaizen, BSM, but few achieve real transformation. In your experience, what separate companies that truly become lean from those that just use the tool?
Well, when you ask me this question, I get reminded of one of the greatest gurus of Kaizen, who is Mr. Masaki Imai. And with due respects to him, I would like to bring in his own quote on this, his own answer on this. He said there are three reasons why this continuous improvement journey would fail. The number one reason is top management commitment. The number two reason is top management commitment. And again, number three is also top management commitment. So if you see people or organizations who do not progress in this journey or probably halt or fail in this journey, it's because of the commitment of the top management.
That's a powerful distinction, sir. Of course, tools improves processes, but culture sustain excellence. So, as the industry shifts towards Industry 4.0, automation, and AI, how do you see lean principles and new technology work together?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. I think this is a question many of us ask, and this question requires a proper answer. Now, if you differentiate just lean as a tool or a framework or a methodology, then we will not find an answer to this question. But if you think lean as doing it faster, doing it better, doing it cheaper, then we embrace any technology, any methodology, any practice to make sure that we do it faster, better, and cheaper. If AI or Industry 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, or the latest AI, whatever makes it, improve the process so that the outcome is faster, cheaper, better, I think we should embrace it as a part of lean thinking.
I completely agree, sir. Technology deliver its best results when it's built on a strong lean foundation. Hope you agree with me, sir.
Yes, certainly.
Imagine India in 2047. If lean thinking became deeply embedded across industries, how would that transform not only manufacturing, but also our economy, workforce, and society?
Coming back to the economy, I think will be the superpower, Vikshit Bharat, as our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has this vision. And we are all, you and me, are all part of this journey in which we will help small and medium enterprises scale up their growth and profitability and put it right on the top of the world so that we become the superpower. And in terms of society, I think we'll be the responsible people with making sure that we don't waste resources, we make the maximum use of resources so that we can grow better with whatever resources that we have. And I think the habits in people would also change, the workforce habits would change so that today we are looking upon Japan, who laid that foundation. And we are looking at some evolved countries like Singapore or Dubai or whatever other countries are. I think India also, and I wish will be one of them or better than them.
Certainly, sir. Lean is not about doing more with less. It's about creating more value with what you already have.
True.
That's what I believe, sir. I think you again agree with me because lean is that thought process. At the end of the day, machine create products, but people create excellence.
True.
So with that, sir, I want to tell you that few days back, I met few engineers and they asked me one interesting question because they are eager to learn about lean practices, but at the same time that they have told me about that in their company, they are not practicing lean or lean tools, lean principles. So they want advice that what they're supposed to do to learn or implement those practices in their life, in their workplace as well.
Wow. Very happy to see such youngsters who are embracing lean. Okay. I think they must be guided properly. Let me answer this question first. That if the organizations where they go do not embrace this or probably start this and fail this, they should not be disappointed. Okay. What I suggest instead is if you're so passionate about lean, like there is a saying, charity begins at home. I encourage these youngsters to start lean and 5S from their homes. Okay. Have them, let them take a look at their own wardrobe and whether there are any unwanted things there or not, discard it. Make sure that there is a place for everything, keep everything in its place, make sure that it's neat and clean. Make sure that your shoe rack is in order. Okay. If you start from home, then you can spread it to your society because you have imbibed it as a part of your own personality, culture. Okay. And this behavior of individuals, the collective behavior is called as culture. Then you can spread it across your own street, your own society, and then gradually the country. That's why we call a Swachh Bharat mission, right? You can be a part of Swachh Bharat mission. Okay? And you will always find opportunity to embrace this best business practices in some organizations. And in fact, I'm very happy to hear that youngsters are thinking in this direction. I wish them all the best.
Thank you, sir. I think it will be good that if we leave this context with a challenge. For example, this week, all the listeners should identify one activity in their own workplace that create no value for their customers, and they either remove it or improve it. That's their first step towards lean. I think that will be a fruitful action from their side if they really wants to proceed ahead, right?
Awesome. So not only in their workplace, I would also encourage them to go to their house and also do some activity towards lean thinking. Start with 5S, then visual management systems, and then do continuous improvement in your own house so that you make your house a better place to live in. Take that as a challenge as well.
That's a great insight again, sir. It's a suggestion for all the youth so that, they don't require for silly things. They don't require help from their mother or sister or maybe, any sibling just for silly things. They have to manage everything by their own.
True.
Okay, so next question. I really want to understand that what is the biggest failure and biggest success in your life because you have more than 3 decades of experience?
Well, people ask me this question. When I reflect it and look back, I just feel that everything is an experiment in life. Okay. I always say this, your destination decides your direction. Okay. And when you're going towards your destination, there might be some routes where there are roadblocks. There might be some routes which are constrained. There might be some routes which are hard enough. Okay. That doesn't mean that you have come to a dead end and you are failed. No, it's an experiment. You thought this route was better. You started your journey with that. But you want to go towards your destination. So take another route. If you have Google Maps, it will show you. But this mind map of lean thinking will show you a different route. And ultimately, you can reach your destination. So to answer your question, yes, there are several industries which have achieved whatever they want to achieve in their journey towards lean. But there are industries which are stranded. It is not because that they have failed. It is because that they experimented and they will find a better way to achieve this sooner.
So recently I heard one important quote from the Titan story. It's about freedom of failure, which is also very important, If people are trying something new in their life, that's always good rather than they are not attempting any try.
Absolutely.
So any advice you want to give to the CEOs?
All right. So
pertaining to this subject, sir?
Right. So all that just continuing my last explanation that the destination decides the direction. I only share this, okay? I'm not a person to advise them. I can only share that let them have their destination very clear, okay? And in your direction towards your destination, you might see the roadblock. Never give up. Take that as an experiment. Don't get disappointed because not all the experiments would give the desired results. Okay, some experiment will fail, and that is a process of continuous improvement. That is a process of innovation. So, important thing is to have that clarity on this destination. But when you're going in that direction, if you face some disappointment, don't think that as failure. Keep your efforts on. I will try to recall the boxing ring here. In a boxing ring, Defeat is not declared when you fall down. I repeat, defeat is not declared when you fall down, but it is declared when you refuse to rise. Okay, so don't, if you fall down, it's okay, but rise again and find out your own journey, your own route towards your destination. And that is thing that is most fulfilling to all of you.
We should be resilient with our efforts, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, with that, sir, thank you so much. One message that stand out for me is that lean is not simply about eliminating waste, it's about unlocking human potential and creating greater value for customer, organization and society. It's a philosophy that challenges us to improve every day, one step at a time. To everyone who joined us today, thank you for watching the inaugural episode of Value Vision on the topic of Indian industry's future. If this conversation inspired you, share it with your colleagues and friends and let us know what topic you had like to explore in future episodes. Until next time, remember the future of Indian industries will not be built by technology alone. It will be built by people who continuously learn, improve, and create value. So, with that, sir, thank you so much. And thanks to all the audience who are listening, who are watching. Thank you and see you in the next episode. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you, Mahi, for having me. And I'm sure all of you watching this would not only enjoy, but also imbibe this lean thinking and start practicing it. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.